This program provides education, not advice. Sponsors pay a fee for endorsements and interviews. See the truthayf.com disclosure page for details.
This is where technology, innovation, and personal finance come together.
This is the truth about your future with Rick Edelman. Brought to you by Global X ETFs, dedicated to providing investors with unexplored intelligent solutions, and by Invesco QQQ. Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
It's Tuesday, April 4th. Remember I said on a show not long ago that federal regulators are trying to kill crypto? Well, a Washington, D.C. law firm has now published a 37-page white paper making that same accusation. Cooper & Kirk says the FDIC, the Federal Reserve Board, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency are waging a secret war against crypto. Cooper & Kirk won a lawsuit against FDIC, the Fed, and the OCC when those agencies tried to kill payday lenders, and now the law firm says they're going to come to the defense of the crypto industry. And so far, the regulators are losing their battle against crypto. Bitcoin prices are up 30% since the FDIC shut down Signature and Silvergate banks, and dozens of other banks now say they're happy to do business with crypto companies. So if the Fed, the OCC, and the FDIC were trying to scare off all banks from doing business with crypto, they're failing. Customers Bank Corp is willing to do business with crypto. So is Fifth Third, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of New York Mellon, Western Alliance, Surety Bank. The list goes on and on and on. And soon, Congress is going to step in and stop the regulators' actions, who are violating their own rules of conduct. Regulators are not allowed to impose new rules without first holding public hearings and setting a public comment period. But none of that's been happening yet. I tweeted last week that it's going to get ugly until we settle down with new laws and regulations governing crypto. So far, all the regulators have done is create panic among bank depositors and turmoil in the stock market. Crypto, meanwhile, is chugging right along. And that's why you need to continue your level of interest and curiosity about this. You can read my book, The Truth About Crypto. You can get your certificate in blockchain and digital assets, courses specifically created not just for financial advisors and crypto professionals, but a separate track specifically for investors, consumers, and students. You can also make investments in the crypto environment. Global X ETFs has 3 that I think are definitely worthy of your consideration. I own these ETFs. All 3 of these Global X ETFs engage in what's known as the picks and shovels approach to crypto investing. You see, there are 2 different ways you can engage in crypto. One of them is to buy crypto directly, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, or some other digital assets. That's cumbersome, it's complicated, it is a different way to invest, and it's frankly beyond the ability or interest level of most folks. But there's an alternative way to invest that I think is equally effective and certainly worthy of consideration. We call it the picks and shovels approach. That's kind of a crazy name. What does picks and shovels have to do with crypto? Well, let me explain to you why we call it that. The phrase picks and shovels dates all the way back to the California gold rush. You were taught about that era. You know about it. The "Go West, young man" was the refrain. Make your fortune. They discovered gold in the hills surrounding San Francisco, and there was a mad rush of people racing into the mountains in their effort to dig for gold and get rich quick. Well, among the thousands of young men who went to California to profit in the gold rush was a guy by the name of Levi Strauss, another guy by the name of John Nordstrom. These 2 guys never dug for gold. They did something different. Levi Strauss sold blue jeans to the gold miners. John Nordstrom sold them all work boots. And as the story goes, Levi Strauss and John Nordstrom became the wealthiest of the entire gold rush without ever mining for gold. And that's where the phrase picks and shovels comes from. Instead of buying Bitcoin, invest in the companies that are helping the Bitcoin miners do what they do. Bitcoin miners have to buy computer gear. So let's invest in NVIDIA, which makes the chips that go into that gear. Let's invest in the companies that are building the support systems. Let's invest in Coinbase, which is a digital assets exchange where people buy and sell Bitcoin. Let's invest in banks that are providing loans to Bitcoin miners and helping them buy the gear that they need. Let's invest in companies like IBM, which is a big blockchain division. Let's invest in the companies that are engaging in the picks and shovels. Instead of mining for Bitcoin, we're going to engage in investments that are supporting the infrastructure and development of the technology. That's what Global X ETFs do. 3 different versions depending on the kind of approach you want to take. The Global X Blockchain ETF, BKCH, which invests in companies that are helping to build, develop, and support blockchain technology. The Global X Blockchain and Bitcoin Strategies ETF, which does all of that plus invests in Bitcoin futures. That's symbol BITS. And the Metaverse ETF. The Metaverse is the next big thing, supported by tokenization, all of it based on blockchain technology. McKinsey says the Metaverse is going to be a $5 trillion industry by the end of the decade. The Metaverse ETF is a way that you can invest in companies that are building and engaging in the metaverse. 3 different investment ideas, all within the subject of crypto, and none of them actually buying coins or tokens. The Global X Blockchain and Bitcoin Strategies ETF, the symbol is BITS, B-I-T-S. The Global X Blockchain ETF, symbol BKCH. And the Global X Metaverse ETF, symbol VR. You can learn more about these at globalxetfs.com. The link is in the show notes, or by talking to your financial advisor. And you can join me on another podcast later today, 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be appearing on The Briefing with Steve Scully, talking about, you guessed it, crypto and Social Security. You can listen live on SiriusXM's POTUS channel, 124. And if you like what you're hearing, be sure to connect with me on my social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. All the links in today's show notes. See you tomorrow.
The Truth About Your Future is sponsored by Global X ETFs. Amid inflation, rising rates, and a host of other economic challenges, volatility has been one of the few constants lately. But as listeners of this show know better than anyone, it's important to look past the short-term headlines and focus on the bigger picture. Despite the ups and downs of the news cycle, exponential technologies continue to advance, shaping a world of new possibilities in engineering, transportation, healthcare, and renewable energy. At Global X ETFs, we offer a diversified product lineup including risk management solutions to navigate the storm, along with thematic strategies targeting the growth opportunities of tomorrow. Whatever your goals, visit globalxetfs.com to explore how our research and insights may help you achieve your goals.
Support for Rick Edelman's podcast comes from Invesco QQQ. Meet Henry, an everyday person who enjoys reading science fiction, keeping in shape at the gym, and spending time with family. He also participates in progress by investing in a fund that supports innovative ideas. Invesco QQQ ETF allows you access to innovators of the NASDAQ 100, so you don't have to be a rocket scientist to help push progress forward. Anyone can become an agent of innovation. Learn more at Invesco.com/QQQ. There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETFs' risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
How do advances in science, technology, and medicine translate into investment opportunity? Listen and learn.
This is The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman.